Hello and welcome to another video tutorial on how you can make the best use of Claude for your ancestral blog writing projects. My focus here today is to show you my latest workflow that seems to be working quite well. To put it in context, I have a number of older blog posts containing stories of my ancestors, and I wanted to bring them up to speed using a better writing process. I initially asked Claude to analyze my writing so that I could then give it this document, which is all about my existing stories and how I want Claude to guide me in improving other stories. So they are now currently uploaded into this project called Ancestral Blog Writing Project. And that is inside the larger project called Beyond the Pen Courseware 2025. This just keeps everything in order. So here's my prompt for my Ancestral Blog project. I want to apply the same process of analysing, suggesting improvements, and rewriting my blog posts in this group as we did in the previous chat. As you can imagine, I've already tried this out. So here is the framework of my writing style and my preferred answers to questions about my style. And then I ask Claude, is it ready to start? So I want to make sure that all of that is understood before we get started. He replies that yes, he's ready to help, and based on the previous answer, he understands that I'm working in these areas. As you can see, usually Devon family stories. My audience is fellow genealogists like yourselves. Plausible fiction based on research is my preferred approach. And I'm looking for complete story development rather than piecemeal elements. And then finally, using AI tools, Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity for narrative development and historical context. And it knows my style, which is a balance between professional genealogy standards and engaging storytelling. And it knows that my blog analysis approach is as follows. It knows the voice and tone, which is professional yet playful. Structured enhancement, AI integration opportunities, historical context, humour, accessibility balance, practical genealogy value, and rewrite samples. So it understands what I'm asking of it, and it lets me know by giving me this response. And then says, when ready when you are, please share your first blog post. And it tells me that it will then dive into the analysis with the same thoroughness that we've established in our previous collaboration. So what I did next was I went over to my blog posts, and they are currently in weare.xyz. I'll just show you briefly. So they are documents, but they're displayed inside this blog area of Weare, and each one of them can be activated by clicking on the title, which I'll do here in preparation. Scrolling to the top. So all I did then for each document was to scroll through the whole thing. This was quite a long one, certainly about the military experiences. And then just copy that to the clipboard. So all of that is in my clipboard right now. Then coming back over here, this is how it was done. So I'll show you a finished article first. So I uploaded an article, which was the first button. And I'm calling them buttons because it's all to do with the tailoring trade. And it's inside an ebook called A Tapestry of Tailors, Volume 2. So the first button is the first sun, and so on. You get the picture. So I wanted it to create a separate artifact for the rewrite and add its analysis and improvements in the chat. And it's done that very well. Let's put all of that together here with the analysis and improvement opportunities. It says that I have a lovely warmth and scholarly attention to detail, but there's room to inject more of that professional yet playful voice. It then picks out some of these things that it could improve, that the opening hook, which was a quote from Robert Collier, just feels disconnected from Dave's story. All fine. And then some opportunities for AI integration, that it will certainly help develop Samuel's authentic voice, create atmospheric historical context, and build emotional connections between facts. Then goes on to look at historical context, humour and accessibility. And I like the fact that it's now able to use that metaphor of first button throughout. Practical genealogy value. So it's going to include some of my own thoughts because that's coming from those blog posts. And then key improvements that it will demonstrate. Stronger opening, seamless voice transitions, richer sensory details, AI methodology insights woven into the story, enhanced emotional resonance, better section flow, and playful language. And lets me know that the bones of the story are excellent. And now it is going to rewrite it for me. And this, when I click into it, is the artifact, which appears on the right-hand side. I'll just make that a little bigger. So I just clicked into that area to show it on the right-hand side. So this is the rewrite. Then below on the chat section on the left, it tells me what it's done. The major enhancements that were made, stronger opening hook, AI methodology integration, enhanced narrative flow, richer historical texture, sensitive handling of a cousin marriage, professional storytelling techniques, and practical value for genealogists. So now on that right-hand side, this is the full copy of that story now. And so all that I did next was simply to copy that using the copy feature at the top. And I can put that now directly into my Dabble Writer, which is the tool that I use to gather my chapters together. But you could do that in Word or Google, whatever your preference is. But this is a very long response, so there's several thousand words in that chapter. And at the end, it provides a little author's note about the development of Samuel's voice in the chapter represents a collaboration between traditional genealogical research and AI-assisted narrative construction. So that gives it transparency and allows people to know how it was put together. So with that in mind, I just want to show you how quickly it can work with the one that I've just copied that we're up to now. So I'm going to close this one. And we've done the second button. So that was the same process that I used. And I've got a separate document there for Frank. Now I'm ready to do the next chapter. So my prompt is quite simple. And this is the chapter about the third button. And because I've got all of that text in my clipboard now, and I press Control V to paste it, because it's quite long, it will look like a little document has been uploaded. So Control V. No, it's given me first button there, so that's not the one we want. Maybe it got confused, so I'll just go back and redo that. So it was Control C, make sure I've got all that. Come back to Claude. Try that again. Control V. That's better. Now it has the third button about Benjamin Robert Philip Allery. And I'll say it again, but it probably doesn't need it now. Just follow the same process. Like so. Notice also that I'm using my own writing style here, into which I have given information and instruction about the style that I use. More about that in another video. So with all that in place, I just activate and wait. So it's now reading through the chapter on that pasted material, and it goes through that process of analysing. Similar things that it said before, but that's fine. Gets into some details now about the military burnt documents mystery over here. And watch now as it creates or rewrites that whole chapter, giving me headings and little italicized items that are useful for the genealogist to read. This one was quite long because it went into some war diaries as well. So there are some quotes from war diary entries. And it's actually showing those in a better way. And because this is just text, I can still illustrate with some imagery that I used in my previous blog, but for now it's giving me a much richer and better structured story about this person who happens to be the third button, and this is Benjamin Robert Philip. And notice how it's working at top speed. And coming to a close soon. It foreshadows what's coming next. In the next chapter, we'll explore the thread of his younger brothers, which is indeed what I will do. And then the author's note, once again, that Benjamin's military service reconstruction represents a collaboration between traditional archival research and AI-enhanced gap analysis. And here's that mention about the burnt documents that you may be familiar with from World War I. The burnt documents series presents unique challenges that require creative methodology to extract maximum genealogy value from damaged sources. So that's just a note to the genealogist who's reading this. So once again, I would simply copy all of that, and I can put that into my Dabble writer. So it's a really useful process, and I can keep going like this comfortably over a couple of hours and get many of my chapters finished in an afternoon. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little walkthrough on how you can use your AI tool, specifically Claude, to help you rewrite some of your stories.